I know Senator Graham didn't mean this, but I believe in the system. In many cases in government and democracy, it's not the substance, it's the perception. And I don't know in this instance, now that the question has been raised, why FBI Director Wray and our Attorney General can't answer Senator Graham's and Senator Grassley's question.
Welcome back. In today's hearing, Senator Kennedy stood up in the Judiciary and laid out some fiery allegations about our President Biden. He claims there's evidence of bribery, and he ain't holding back. Kennedy's got folks talking about FBI investigations, mysterious documents, and the ever-elusive transparency we all crave. He says the FBI's got its hands full, trying to keep trust while digging into these serious claims.
I know Senator Graham didn't mean this, but I believe in the system. But the American people right now are skeptical about the system. And I happen to believe that the FBI is the premier law enforcement agency in all of human history. And most of the people there just get up every day and do their job in a bipartisan manner, a nonpartisan manner. But what Senator Graham and Senator Grassley are asking in light of history, in light of the context, is not unreasonable. There's no question that for at least a period of time, there were people in charge of the FBI who acted on their political beliefs. And I'm not talking about former Director Hoover. I'm talking about Mr. Wray's predecessor. The director of the FBI at that time decided that he was going to investigate not one, but both presidential candidates. With respect to one, he decided to proceed, with respect to one of those candidates, he decided to proceed on the basis of information that we now know was manufactured by that candidate's opponent, which we call opposition research. In terms of the second presidential candidate, Secretary Clinton, she was investigated. A reasonable person can debate whether or not she should have been, but the FBI director at that time called not one, but two press conferences to talk about the investigation. And after he concluded it, he then opened it back up. And then he called a second press conference. It might have cost Secretary Clinton the election. Now, the American people have seen all this. And in many cases in government and democracy, it's not the substance, it's the perception. And I don't know in this instance, now that the question has been raised, why FBI Director Wray and our Attorney General can't answer Senator Graham's and Senator Grassley's question and put this to rest.
Senator, I'm just thinking about the timeline. This form, FD 1023, one specific one we're talking about here, came up during the Trump administration. The FBI received this information during the Trump administration. And for whatever it was worth, it was communicated to President Trump's Attorney General, Bill Barr, as well as the FBI. They were in on the conversation as well. Think about the timeline of when it occurred. What was happening in America during that timeline? We were just about to vote on the re-election of President Trump. and whether the American people would have him for another term. And now his Attorney General has this information, which some have alleged shows a $5 million bribe to the President of the United States, Joe Biden. Attorney General Barr has this information before the election, and we didn't hear about it. What does that tell you?